Ukraine war is sending bodies through the air, man. They sent bodies and tank turrets launching all over it. Ukraine war footage is brutal.
Have you seen the new anti-tank drones? Oh my God! They literally take
talk about it like a video game DLC.
You know, like hose clamps that you turn the screw and the clamp gets tighter. And
yes,
they took like 2 big ones and attached a shape charge that like a big imagine warhead to the drone, and then they just fly it into the back of the tank, and it's the shape charge. It's meant to penetrate armor with that like
right
copper.
under like where the spinny thing meets the body, and they pop the
in the back.
Off. Yeah,
they hit it in the back where the ammunition. I guess all the ammo, or I think you've got powder. I don't know how Russian tanks work, but I'm guessing maybe there's powder charges and then a projectile that they shove in there. All that shit's, I guess, in a compartment.
Dude, if I were on Reddit, a commenter on Reddit, I'd be like, Russian tank expert here. And then
Russian tank expert here. Actually, don't know very much, but I do know.
Actually, it's an auto loader. I know that.
Yeah, I was about to say that because the Russians have an auto loader and the Americans don't, it means that they store their shells in a more vulnerable spot, like right near the turret. And it turns out, now that they're being kind of battle tested, that makes the turrets pop off when you hit them with drones. Whereas Americans, Ukrainians are a little safer with their protected ammo.
Those Russian tanks would have fared better in the 70s when they were designed, and if they could have swept across Europe back then, no problem, because there weren't cheap ass
lot of tanks.
They almost look like they're from the 40s. I know they've updated the design, but visually they look the same to me.
Yeah, it's Cold War shit.
Russia's strategy is like cheap, easy to maintain shit. Like they will never. Like they don't seem to go the digital route on a lot of stuff. Like they want cheap, easy to maintain shit that's easy to manufacture. So I don't think they'll ever compete in like the tank world. In lots of it, yeah. Speaking of tanks, like the first boats weren't huge. It took a long time to work up to aircraft carriers.
Okay.
Can you imagine how sick it would be if we had and it wouldn't even have to be the most effective, practical thing of all time. It would just be like a show of strength. Like we have a tank that's like 150 yards long and it's like 80 yards wide and it's rolling like it's like a rolling city. It's like a battleship, but it's a tank. It's a land battleship.
It's a genius idea. You could start with the ship actually, right? Put some wheels on a nice Corvette. Right?
Yeah,
on a frigate?
No, it has to look like a tank, though. It has to look like a tank. That's my idea.
We're taking your idea and we're stealing it.
It's like, have you seen that Nazi rail gun they made back in the 40s?
I was thinking when you were talking about this.
The Gustav rail gun.
I guess they didn't actually end up using it often.
They did because
no, but not often, because I guess a saboteur got in and destroyed some key mechanisms in it with a bomb or something. And then afterward, they're like, well, the amount it would take to fix this isn't worth what the fucking thing ended up doing. But something like that would be sick. Not a railgun, though. We don't want, we can be anywhere. Like you roll around, you're not on a rail system. Genius. Wouldn't that be sick?
You know how
that'd shake the ground.
They don't have one turret. They have like a triple. It should have a triple like a ship.
Yes, it has. Well, it could have one big major one, and then it can have smaller turrets on the sides. There's a ton of room.
So this is a mouse tank.
How big is that? Is that like really huge? No, I mean like in the world of tanks,
tank ever.
The biggest tank ever. Okay.
Yeah. So they proposed a much larger version of this.
Who made this? America,
Germany.
Russia.
Look at the helmets, bro.
Oh,
look how stylish everyone is.
Yeah, everybody's looking pretty slick.
What are they doing on the sides of it? They're making it muddy?
Now this one looks crappy. Oh, look, there's a hammer and sickle. Of course it's crappy.
I bet it's stuck. I don't see the hammer sickle.
It looks like it's right on the side there.
It's upside down though.
I would imagine that. Yeah, that is.
Maybe that's for a kill or something.
Full screen, I see it easily.
I think maybe that's a sign of disrespect, or maybe even it wouldn't be a kill because
either way, that is not the kind of tank I'm talking about. Something cool.
Yeah, no, they proposed. What I was going to say is they proposed a much more gigantic version. It was during the period of the war where they were doing poorly, and they started proposing those wonder weapons to Hitler. You know, the jet fighters and the ICBMs and all the craziness, and also like looking for Arthurian artifacts, looking for the Shroud of Turin and the fucking Ark of the Covenant and all that stuff. They were really doing that shit. But they had this. It was gigantic. It would have been like you said, like a land battle. Like a land ship, yeah. Just
wouldn't that be sick? It would have to be huge to disperse the weight. so that it's not just like creating
wouldn't
trenches.
be a lawn dart.
Yeah. Like, but that would be, and I get it. It's not practical, but that's cool as shit. A ship-sized tank that we can, and it can shoot from so far away. Maybe it would be a little bit practical.
Well, no, the idea was that it would be so armored that it could withstand any air attack or any direct attack. There would just be feet and feet of armor that it just wouldn't matter what you hit it with.
That's a good idea.
Rolling bunker.
Yeah, we should. Why don't we do that?
I like it.
I think we figured out
so much
some
on
other
military.
shit.
Let's do something cool with it.
I think they do.
Now, something visually cool for
Let's
us.
push off universal health care for 10 more years and get Taylor's tanks in here.
We're never.
If we get a big enough tank, okay.
You'll get. We're going to the moon long before we're getting universal health care. Now that's
you got to keep your population hungry. Make them work for that medical.
Yeah, we need. Fuck.
Or marry.
I was going to say Nazi scientists are the way to get this done, but they're gone now.
Girl.
What a novel code.
I was going to say, we did take a lot of their stuff.
We did. Well, I mean, you don't just leave good work on the fucking floor. You go, oh, hey, we just conquered this part of Germany. Hey, there's a lot of interesting maths regarding rockets here. Let's just go ahead and let's stuff that in the jacket pocket. You know, hey, you looking for free clearance after World War II? You want to go to the moon? And he's like, yeah. And then that's just what they did. It's like, yeah, I was never that big on the whole war thing anyway. I'm mostly a guy who's autistic for the moon.
The talented Nazis got utilized and the non-talented ones got executed.
Yeah. Where they were like, I bet that was like a funny interview.
Kyle
process.
just leaked Trump's immigration strategy.
Yes. I mean, look, who doesn't want that immigration strategy? I think there should be a filter. All right, that's all. Just a filter.
Whoa, a filter of who can enter a country? What are you?
It's imagine a screen. It's a screen door. That would be the Kyle policy. It'd be a screen door. You know that, and I would
no more wall, just screen doors.
All the bugs, all the insects, and the vermin. They get stuck. The mosquitoes, stuff like that. They can't make it through the screen door. You know.
No, the Taylor test is that we go even further. We're gonna reconfirm citizens. We're gonna make them take one of those 1940s spelling voting tests, and everyone who fails it, you got to go. Sorry, you're Mexican now.
If I'm one of the senators on the we're putting the test together, and we all get to enter. Well, the state of Georgia will never sign unless we have a few questions of our own included in the quiz. Like, what question would you want to interject?
I've got my question. It's not a question. It's not a verbal one. We have two doors. For the guys, there's an IQ test of some sort. For the girls, we just make the door 12 inches wide.
12
and if
inches
they can
wide.
get in, they're allowed in.
They have to walk up to they have to pace towards a wall. And if their nose hits before their tits, you're out.
Oh, my God. Clearly, it's anti-Semitic. This Taylor guy. What is he doing?
No, the Jewish gals will be fine. They got those big milkers.
It's 1942 all over again.
The last, dude. If there was a question for voting rights, that was what does a semicolon do? What percentage of the country do you think can still vote that year?
Oh, if you don't give me multiple choice, man, I think you're separating two. I can't give you a straight answer on that. What is
what is a semicolon? What does a semicolon do?
Oh shit. So it breaks up two thoughts in a compound sentence ish. How close am I?
That's close. Yeah, it separates two independent clauses.
That's it.
Yeah.
See, I would have gotten the multiple choice.
See, but in Taylor's America, you can't vote.
No,
that's exactly the same as
I guess it's the same as Biden's America.
Biden's America can't vote either. This is those parallel universes all end up the same.
But that's just someone picking a question of something they know. If they picked something else that was easy for them, mathematically, I wouldn't be able to vote.
Essay. I want an essay.
I'd give up my vote if we can go back to Kings.
I like essays because you end up getting graded by your handwriting, and that's not fair to me.
You can type it, Woody. We provide typewriters.
You win me over.
If you can't type, you can't get in. By the way, we don't want any non-typing people here.
Exactly.
It's 2024. If you can't type, it's fine if you can't type. If you're already American, you get grandfathered in, but no new non-typers.
Yeah, you're too generous.
Henpecking's going to be over in the next 10 years in this country than in my America.
Okay.
What would the essay be though?
Oh, well, it's based on a question, and it's like, do you believe that the United States is exceptional? And if so, why? What makes the United States exceptional? I want to know why you think United States is the place to be. Are you here because, this is like, I had a binary situation. It was like either I stay in poverty or go to where all the money is. Is that why you're here? I don't need you. I don't need you.
Yeah.
Like, are you here because you have this really you have this really well-formed understanding of what makes the United States an exceptional place to live, and you want to chip into that situation and reap the benefits of it by becoming an American and by like putting into the system? Do you have some plan in place, or do you just want to like be set free on the streets to run amok? Like, I don't know. I need to know what's in your heart, but I don't know if I'm going to get there with some. Remember that scene in Sopranos where they're sitting there memorizing answers to the immigration exam? He's like, who led civil rights movement?
CIA.
They were fighting against the civil rights movement, Taylor, but close. You don't get in. Now you can't vote.
No, you're wrong on that.
What are you talking about? They were
I
spying
literally
on Martin
don't
Luther
know.
King.
I was just
They
antagonizing
killed
you.
Martin Luther King. The FBI killed Martin Luther King.
Well, the CIA. They were in his pocket. See, you might not know that. As someone who made it up just now.
You know, they recorded him having they recorded him having sex, and they were trying to expose his affairs and stuff. Like
I did hear
him,
about that. Yeah.
tell him to kill himself, like writing him those letters. Like, you should just kill yourself.
And I heard that, and I'm
out.
like, man, I'm split on this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On MLK or on J. Edgar Hoover?
Yes.
Oh, I saw I linked it earlier. Brandon Herrera made a video, I'm guessing today. I didn't look at the date.
No, it was older.
Okay, good. It was like breaking down the MLK assassination, and that thumbnail is wild.
Shout out Brandon. Brandon rules.
My goodness. I like that. I like the thumbnail. He just didn't give a fuck.
I clicked on the video, but I didn't see the thumbnail. Can you describe it?
Oh, it's Martin Luther King giving a quasi Hitler salute, and there you go.
Oh,
and then there's a bullseye on his head, and then Brandon's, well, there you go.
That's funny, but that's not a Hitler salute. He's waving. Come on.
Well, you know how it is. They
His
caught him.
hands this way. That's a wave.
That's
What
like
would a
the
Hitler salute
Heil
look like?
Hitler.
Taylor?
Hitler's was when he like kind of went like that, but it was
Yeah.
close to the chest.
Was
Like
it more
he-
forward out? Like
No,
More
you're
casual.
not gonna get me on that one. No, you're not gonna get me fucking Sig Highland. But no, we've talked about it many times. Everybody else did the doodly doo, the real one, and then Hitler just kind of did like, yeah.
That's
I
a Key and
accept.
Peele bit, by the way. Have you seen it?
No,
mm-mm.
the only Key and Peele bit I've seen is when they're like calling their girlfriends bitches.
Watch the
quietly,
Nazi shit.
and that's
The
very
Nazi
funny.
the Nazi shit's really good. There's one there's one where there's black people with white face trying to hide from like a Jew hunter or a Negro hunter or something like that. I can't remember which. And it's like he's like asking them questions and interrogating them, and they're clearly very black. And then there's one where I think they're laying in the floor playing dead, and they're clearly, it's a completely different, but it's Nazis. They're pretending like they're dead because there was just a gunfight, and they're clearly not dead. And like the Nazi commandant is going on and on about how cool it was to meet Hitler, and his underling is like noticing that the black soldier is alive, not dead. He's like, sir. It's like, stop interrupting me. I'm almost done with it. Yeah, those are good. I like their Nazi shit.
I'll check it out. Sounds funny. I don't know.
Key and Peele is generally pretty good.
I remember one time I saw the U.S. Army training some Afghanis to be like, we wanted to prop them. I'm like, hey, you're going to take over now. You'll look after this place. And they're doing jumping jacks. And we all did that in school. You got the teacher in front. He gives you a little demonstration, and then everybody falls in line. Not a single Afghani could do a fucking jumping jack. The concept was so foreign to them. You got to imagine these grown men have never seen a jumping jack before, but they're also uncoordinated as well. It was just lots of weird scissors.
You're not thinking of Iraq, are you? Was it definitely Afghanistan?
I mean, I don't really make
I've
much.
seen this footage.
It was guys in turbans with no dexterity jumping around.
It was one of those.
They were clapping.
It was empires we toppled.
One of the problems with that
Empire's
footage, if
generous.
it's the same one I saw, was they weren't taking it seriously enough. third graders learning jumping jacks in elementary school are at least like trying to get it right. They're laughing at their own incompetence, and I'm like, someone needs to suck the fun out of this environment. It's boot camp.
There's too much fun in the Taliban.
Yeah,
but then again, maybe having fun wins wars. They did win.
Yeah. Well, no, these were the
Have a good time, enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
no, these were the guys that
Don't
we
take it too
left to be
serious.
like tortured to death. These guys didn't win. These guys didn't win at all. No.
Is that like in Inglorious Bastards when they have to like do a 3 like that? Maybe that's how they suss out Taliban. They make them do jumping jacks, and if they can do it, they're like, he is American, and then they American spy, fuck his ass up. But then if they like have no rhythm,
Is the jumping jack not like a global sort of calisthenic?
Apparently not. And it's easy to poke fun until you see, have you seen videos of like 8-year-old Chinese kids in a grid 500 by 500 doing like punches and shit?
See, that's horse shit though, because like if we want, first of all, that's propaganda. That's not, they didn't just pop into some random elementary school the way Gorbachev. Remember when Gorbachev came over and they took him to a grocery store and he was like, bullshit. That's not what American drive me around. I'll pick the store. And he picks the store and he goes in and he's shocked. Thousands of products. Every aisle is full. Nothing's missing. Every space is full. Try. That's when the fucking Soviet Union.
Dude, that's so funny. You answered like one clear propaganda with another. Like you really think Gorbachev was like openly weeping at oranges?
I'm dispelling propaganda. It's the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite.
There was never a grain shortage in Russia. No, there was huge food shortages.
Have you? I mean, you look at the shelves now.
They just widely know that there are no bread lines in Russia.
Kyle combated the Chinese propaganda with the affirming Gorbachev one, and I was combating that propaganda with even more insane propaganda.
What I'm saying is, on the other hand, while Gorbachev could go to any grocery store in America and say this one, and it would be equally like full and stocked up, you can't go to any random China